Hello, my little cupcakes. Hope you're all well. Look, proof that I do, in fact, wear other jumpers. I know, you're shocked. Um, right, so this is a remake of a video I actually made last week, but I felt like I'd missed some bits or I hadn't explained some stuff properly. So I'm going to attempt to ramble about it again and kind of see what happens. We'll see. So, um, this video is going to be about should influencers who have become CEOs still run their own social medias? And it's a really tricky question, kind of, because on the one hand, that's how they got big. That's how they became where they are now. You know, is they are incredibly good at social media. That's how they connect to their following. And we're very much kind of in this new age of brands and companies started through social media. Makeup companies and stuff. So many influencers. It's such a weird word, I think. Is it just me that thinks that? Is it just Please let me know. Please let me know if it is just me. Anyway, we're in this kind of age now of social media influencers, gurus, whatever you want to call them, starting their own brands, starting their own companies. So obviously, people like the first person that comes to mind is obviously like Jeffree Star and Jaclyn Hill, Nikita Dragun, Manny MUA. I think Laura Lee from memory. There's Tati. There's loads and loads of them now, and there's like probably even more than I don't know about. So recently, I think last week, I'm late to this game, so just bear with me. Last week, you probably know about it. Jeffree Star had some controversy with his mystery boxes and all that kind of stuff, and was accused of popping off on social media. And I read the tweets. I saw the sort of screenshots of the tweets. Now, I happen to agree with Dustin Daly in that I didn't think that what he said was particularly rude, but I understand why people might have taken it that way. But let's talk about it in a kind of more general context. So he's done it before, and Jaclyn Hill as well, most sort of notably and recently, with her first launch and how that went horribly wrong, and she was quite rude to people about it on social media. The owner of Z Palette, I forget her name. If you know it, let me know. She completely killed her entire company by being an asshole on social media. So I want to explore this from kind of two angles. One, from the influencer side. Should influencers and people who are now CEOs of their own companies be on social media and running their own social media, particularly YouTubers, especially since this is our remit, since this is kind of where we're at, let's stick with YouTubers specifically. Should YouTubers who have other social media platforms be running those social media accounts? Maybe, possibly. No, I think, when maybe, God, earlier this year, Marlena from of Makeup Geek fame, notoriety, she said in her very last sort of big video she did that was like an hour and a half long and all that, she was like, I'm choosing to take a step back because I don't think that I can give unbiased reviews of stuff anymore. One, because I am a CEO of my own company, and I don't believe that people who run their own makeup companies should review other stuff because it's conflict of interest. And I think she also wanted to take a step back because of doing all that stuff, because she's a CEO of a company and she wanted to take a more traditional route about it. So, you know, on that, I think it's probably very sensible, especially because of all the drama she was, embroiled in previously when she was calling out, you know, influencers for not declaring sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. And I think from that one thing alone, she realized that actually, you know, maybe she should just take a step back and take a more traditional role, you know, as a brand owner and you know, creator and whatever. On the other hand, generally speaking, from my knowledge, now feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but Marlena never really popped off at people. If somebody had a problem with a product, she's always very good about it, and all that. Jumping back to Jeffree Star, and as I sort of started this incredibly long tangent with, he basically, in this tweet that I mentioned 6 minutes ago, 5.5 minutes ago, he said to somebody, look, I employ a team of 100 people to do customer service and deal with any complaints, inquiries you might have. Go and speak to them. And honestly, I thought that was a very salient point, because he does. That's exactly what he does. But everybody seems to go to him directly. You know, they want 24-hour, 7 days a week access to Jeffree Star to either complain about his shit or the stuff he does. Some of it is very questionable, or has been in the past. I think he's gotten better as he's gotten older. And they're like, this is shit and blah blah blah. And he, you know, has to be his own sort of, complaints department as well, apparently. Generally speaking, like, I think he gets, like, he does get back to stuff really quickly. He does get on top of stuff very quickly. As we all saw with the mystery boxes, he's, like, refunded everyone and all that, which I think was a really good thing to do, especially because of this sort of misadvertisement that happened. I think that was a very sensible thing to do. And, you know, and he didn't grumble about it. He was just like, yep, we fucked up, and this is what we're doing to fix it. And I think from a business point of view, that was a very sensible thing. He has been very rude to people in the past, and Jaclyn Hill and all these people, and I just think, if you can't stop yourself from having a go at random Joe on the street who's, you know, complaining about something, you should probably just get somebody else to run your social media. Is my opinion. Now, on the other side of this coin, I will start by saying, influencers are human. They fuck up. They do bad shit. Just like you or me. They ain't perfect. And they are certainly, and I really want to stress this, not obligated to live up to the pedestal you have put them on. Nobody is. Nobody is obligated to do that. And I think part of the problem, and part of why people kind of go, like, when a social media influencer is having a bad day and they end up popping off at somebody or getting in an argument on the internet, you know, and everyone's just like, oh, drama, and, you know, they get all like about it. We have to remember that everyone has a bad day. You know, on the one side, if you're having a bad day, you probably shouldn't be on social media, and you should just say, nope, stepping back from all of that. On the other side, we hold these people to, like we probably, you know, everybody else on the street, we hold them to about here. And I think for social media people, celebrities, all of that, we hold them to here. for better or for worse. You know, we hold these people up to these incredibly high standards. I have to stop and start my video, otherwise it runs out and then we start missing words and editing it together becomes a pain. Anyway, we hold these people to really, you know, we put these people on massive pedestals. And then suddenly we're really surprised when they fuck up. I'm not a fan of cancel culture. I think it doesn't help anything. Now, I'm not saying if somebody does bad shit, we let them off the hook and all that. I just think we need to lower our expectations of people. And that sounds really cynical and pessimistic. It kind of is. Hold people accountable. Absolutely. I think there is a responsibility on both sides as to how to approach this topic and how to navigate this world we now live in of social media celebrity. And it's really no different than, you know, 10, 20 years ago when it was like, oh my God, this Hollywood A-lister has done this. And it's like, it's probably something like, you know, somebody you know has probably also done, and you've gone, well, they're not, but they're my pal, so I'll, you know, that was a shitty thing to do, but they're my pal, so I'll let them off, and, you know, I'll tell them they were being a dick, and that was that. But now, like, and also I suppose it probably doesn't help that we all have access to, a lot or many of us have access to the internet, so we all have a way of you know, putting our voice out there, I guess. Can you tell I'm just thinking out loud? But anyway, think out loud with me. You know, write comments, leave me some comments. If you like the things I say out loud, also while I'm here, subscribe. That would be fantastic. Anyway, so I think a lot of it is we all of us need to, one, keep some realistic expectations, because I think a lot of us go wah when expectations of somebody does not meet the reality of who they actually are, and we just forget that they're human because we build this picture of somebody up in our head, you know, like Jeffree Star, Jaclyn Hill, all these diehard fans that are all like, yes, this person is amazing and can do no wrong, and then when they do something wrong or they have a bad day or they're human, we all kind of go, wow, what the fuck, this is terrible, and then our worlds are shattered forever. So yes, I think, in my opinion, if you're having a bad day and you're a social media influencer, stay the hell off the internet, or at least get somebody else to run your social media. If your primary platform is YouTube, stick to making YouTube videos, find a friend or hire somebody if you're making enough money. So, you know, if you're somebody really big like Jeffree Star, James Charles, or whoever, find somebody else to run social media, your Twitter, whatever. Really, if you feel like you can't help yourself and you think, if I go on Twitter today and there's a big old shitstorm, I will pop off, like, don't insult yourself. Unless you're asked. And that goes for so many things in life. But anyway, and also, we on the other side of the coin, you know, need to remember that these people are human. We don't have a right to have access to them 24/7. If they run a company, get in touch with the company. If something's wrong with your order or something, get in touch with the company. Do it that way. You don't need to go to the CEO or whatever directly. I know it's really hard, and you have, you know, we're in this weird place of remembering that companies do operate in a somewhat traditional way versus this, you know, social media age we live in. So anyway, yes, I think that's my 2 pence about it all. I would love to know what you think. You know, do you think the onus is on the influencer? Is it on us. Oh, also, I do want to say, if you are interacting with a influencer, Jeffree Star, fucking whoever, I don't fucking know, Peter Martin or James Charles or Nikita Dragon, or anyway, throw out any name you like, whoever you follow. If they've done something fucked up, you can call them out and be not a dick about it. Like, this is also actually a good point. Don't have to be a dick to call somebody out. Honest to God. You don't. Just saying. Nobody needs, you don't, if somebody is like, I think somebody told, what's his name, Jeffree Star, to go and kill himself or some shit like that. Like, who does that? No. Having an anonymous voice on the internet, semi-anonymous voice on the internet, does not give you the right to be an asshole. Just saying. Anyway, that's it. That's my piece. That's all I have to say. I hope you're all having a lovely day. It is the 12th of December. If you live in the UK, I hope you voted. If not, you're an idiot. And I love you long time. Take care. See you on the flip side.